Eleanor Vale was born under a grey sky and raised in shadows. No one ever told her where she came from. No family name carved in stone, no keepsakes wrapped in ribbon. Only a small locket with no picture inside, and the name E. Vale scratched on the back. She had lived most of her 17 years in Greystone Asylum for girls, a place that masqueraded as a charity school, but bore the soul of a prison. The days were long and colourless, the meals barely warm, and the instructors colder still. But Eleanor, though small and quiet, had a soul like fire. She read books by candlelight after curfew. She scribbled poetry into the margins of her hand-me-down primers. Her mind wandered beyond the stone walls, across windswept moors and into places her feet had never touched. When Miss Hornby, the school's matron, summoned her one winter morning, Eleanor expected punishment. Instead, she found a stranger in a wool coat, smelling faintly of pine and smoke. "Miss Eleanor Vale?" the man asked. "I'm here on behalf of Mr. Ashford Thorne. He requires a governess for his ward at Everthorn Hall." A governess. A real job. A world beyond the walls. Eleanor's heart thundered. She packed her things in a worn satchel and boarded the carriage the very next day. The journey took 2 days. The road narrowed as they passed from village lanes into untamed country, where gnarled trees hunched over the path and mist crept like a living thing. Everthorn Hall rose from the earth like something carved from the bones of the land, grand, yes, but tired. It was surrounded by endless moorland, its silhouette jagged against the pale sky, with turrets like broken crowns. The front doors groaned as they opened. Mrs. Alden, the housekeeper, greeted her with a nod. "You'll find Everthorne quiet, miss. Most find it too quiet." Inside, the halls were dim and cold. Tapestries hung like forgotten memories, and the fireplaces flickered with lazy flames. Eleanor was shown to a modest bedroom on the 3rd floor. Outside her window stretched the moors, pale and endless, and below, the tops of twisted trees, the edge of the haunted Everthorne woods. That night, she met her pupil, Lily Thorne, a girl of 8, with raven-dark hair, an absent gaze, and a fascination with secrets. She barely spoke, but clung to Eleanor's every word during lessons. "Eleanor," she said once in a whisper, "do you believe in ghosts?" It was a week before she met Mr. Ashford Thorne. He arrived one foggy afternoon, trailing the scent of leather, horses, and wood smoke. Eleanor watched from a window as he dismounted, his coat billowing like a cloak. He did not look up. Their first meeting was in the drawing room. She stood, hands clasped, as he entered with a deliberate step. "You are younger than I expected," he said with no smile. His eyes were grey, sharp, like flint. "And you are less absent than I had assumed," she replied before thinking. His brow lifted. "A governess with a tongue. And ears, sir. I use both." A pause, then a shadow of a smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. "Good." In the days that followed, their encounters became frequent. Discussions of Lily's progress turned into conversations about poetry, memory, the weight of loneliness. He was cold and distant at times, but she saw through him. There was pain in his silence, guilt, loss, and still she felt herself drawn to him. Everthorne whispered at night. Doors creaked open by themselves. Footsteps passed outside her room when no one was there. Lily spoke of dreams filled with fire, and a woman in white with eyes full of sorrow. One stormy night, Eleanor ventured down the west corridor. A wing no one entered. It was locked. But behind one door she heard sobbing, ragged, human, but wrong somehow. Mrs. Alden caught her there. Her voice shook. "There are things in this house best left untouched." But Eleanor could not forget. She watched Ashford more closely, the way he stiffened when lightning struck, the way his hands trembled when Lily cried. She confronted him. "There is someone in that wing," she said. "I heard them. Who are they?" His face turned to stone. "You are here to teach, not to ask questions. Leave it be, Miss Vale." But her heart refused to obey. The truth came wrapped in flames. One night a fire erupted in the west wing. Screams tore through the stone like thunder. Eleanor, half-dressed and barefoot, ran into smoke and chaos. She found Ashford dragging a figure from the flames. A woman snarling, her nightgown scorched, her hair wild. He collapsed in the hall, coughing. Eleanor knelt beside him, trembling. "She was my wife," he said hoarsely. "Once brilliant, now lost. I've hidden her here for years, from the world, from myself." "I would have understood," Eleanor whispered. "I feared that more than your judgment." She left Everthorne at dawn. He did not stop her, only watched from the steps, his silhouette blurred by morning mist. Eleanor found work in a quiet seaside village, but her soul remained in the moors. In the books she read, she saw his face. In dreams, she walked those endless halls again. Then came the letter. Lily wrote, "She's gone, peacefully. The house is silent again. He, Mr. Thorne, doesn't eat, doesn't sleep. He looks for you in every room." Eleanor returned without packing, just her heart in her hands. He met her at the gates. "I have nothing left," he said. "No riches, no legacy." "You have Lily," she said, "and your name." "And you?" She stepped forward. "Only myself, but all of me." He took her hands. His were no longer cold. The hall no longer whispered but sang. Eleanor taught Lily, and later, other children who came from lonely places. Ashford opened the library, the windows, his heart. On winter nights, Eleanor sat by the fire, telling stories of courage, of love that rises from the ashes, of halls that echo with pain, but also with hope. And always, she ended the same way. "There once was a girl with no name, and she became the soul of a forgotten place.